Welcome back to Create, Connect, Repeat. Nick Finzer here. Today we're answering a question left on last week's Create, Connect, Repeat that really kind of hit home for me. So Kurt wrote, "This was a great video. I wish you could cover how to find your voice at a lower level. Not everyone can be you or Michael Davis or Marshall Gilks. So how do you encourage finding a voice and believing, even at this stage, that what you do have to say as a musician is as important and is worth speaking into the world?" Wow. Well, first of all, it's nice of you to say that you would think of me in the same conversation with those other two guys, because those are two guys that I have looked up to for a long, long time. Two guys that I aspire to be like, both playing-wise and personally, and just great people, great musicians. But yeah, this kind of really hits close to home. I think that's something that we don't get to talk that much about. I think in general, my approach to this question is that you shouldn't worry about it that much. This question kind of addresses two separate things, and so I want to make sure that my answer covers both aspects of what I'm thinking about this question. And so that's that. First of all, we're all trying to strive to improve in terms of being a musician, in terms of our technique and all of that stuff. So everyone's always trying to improve. I've never met a trombone player who I really respected, looked up to, loved their playing, that didn't have the same kind of humility that we all have to go through playing this instrument, playing trombone, playing any instrument for that matter, any brass instrument. But I think that you don't really find your voice. I think that your voice is you, no matter what. And I think that everyone has something valid to say. Whether what you're saying now is the same as what you'll say later is very much likely that you'll develop and change over time. I think in the early stages, you're trying to imitate what others have done before. You're trying to master your craft. You're trying to be the best you that you can be, and you're trying to figure out what you like. You're trying to figure out what your preferences are, and through, I think, that journey, you end up sounding like yourself no matter what. I can't think of really anyone who doesn't sound like themselves, and except for people that are like really hell-bent on being a copy of somebody else, like they only want to deal with one person's music and they just want to be a copycat of that person. I think there's so much value in copying and imitating and trying to be exactly like a recording, a transcription, or something that you're working on. But I don't necessarily think that there's that much value in trying to be a copycat 100%. You take a little bit from this and a little bit from that, and you kind of blend it all together, and you end up with you. That your preferences will indicate who you are, what you want to be, what type of musician you are. All of those decisions are ongoing and evolving, and I think you and your artistry and your voice emerges naturally from that. I don't think you have to think about it that much. I don't think I've thought about it that much, other than I knew that I wanted it to develop, and I knew that I started to make choices about what I liked and disliked and go through that process of discovery and figure out, basically by being around people that are better than me, what my weaknesses are, and then also knowing what my strengths are, and then trying to improve my weaknesses, but also betting on my strengths and going all in on those parts of my musicianship and my playing. So I think for anyone out there that is sharing this opinion that Kurt has about, feeling like they don't know if they have something to say right now, I will say it's okay if you don't have something to say right now. But what you are saying is valid, and it's part of your journey, and it's worth putting out into the world. Because I was just talking about this with a student, and just talking about that we love to go back and see the progression of an artist. We love to see John Coltrane from early to late. We love to see Miles Davis and his evolution. We love to think about Sonny Rollins and the fact that he quit and went on the bridge and was practicing and was a taxi driver and all of this kind of stuff. You want to have something to look back on, and if you don't start documenting now, what are you going to have to look back on? Because you're never going to feel like you're ready. I never feel like I'm ready when I'm about to make an album, but I know that this is the statement I want to make right now, and this is as best as I can make it right now. So I just go with the fact that that is what it is, and it's going to be what it is, and you're going to have your own challenges to deal with within yourself, but it's worth putting out, because whatever it is that wherever you are, whatever you're at, it's definitely worth putting out, because you want to be able to see your progress over time, even if nobody else checks it out. So for me, I really think that you shouldn't worry about what other people are doing. You should study the music that you love. You should study the players that you love. You should figure out how to play at the highest level that you can, and then you should make the music that means something to you and make it as best as you can. And you're going to be better 20 years from now than you are right now, whether you're 20 or 40 or 60. It doesn't matter. Your concept is going to evolve and deepen over time. So it's better to start now than to wait. I know this has been a long episode of Create, Connect, Repeat, and maybe a little tangential to what we normally talk about, but it's really important, I think, to address these questions that are coming up, and there's been more and more, and so I'm going to go back and try to address some of these in coming weeks. But please keep leaving your questions, keep leaving us your thoughts down below on Facebook or on YouTube. I want to hear about them, or even send a direct message on Instagram. I see and look and respond to as many of those as I possibly can. So thanks for being here. This has been Create, Connect, Repeat. My name is Nick Finzer, and we'll see you back here in just a week.